Welcome to Keeper of Secrets Tarot. I'm Gypsy Girl, here to give you another lesson for today. I thank you, Spirit, for protecting and keeping the collective safe. Thank you for protecting me and keeping me safe. What is the lesson for today? What does the collective need to learn today? Oh, well, we have a message here. Focused on ending, putting down the burden emotionally. We're focusing on putting down the burden emotionally. That's good. It is, because the burden in itself is where the lesson will teach. Putting down the burden. That's hard. That's hard. Because you're just so used to being in that momentum that putting it down is hard. It is a lesson all by itself. Do one more shuffle. But it is an emotional burden, and that is what we will go through. All of us, we have no choice. We are all human, and we feel and anger, sorrow, love, happiness, depression. It's all there. We just have to maneuver and focus on how we maneuver. The key is to focus. So focusing on putting down the burden emotionally. What is the lesson for today? Thank you, Spirit. Let's see what comes up. Well, the Eight of Pentacles. Well, it's Pentacles, it's work. It means abundance. And the Eight is what goes around, comes around. That sign of infinity. This is linked to Saturn. Work. Anything that is called work, whether it is your work, someone else's work, whether you earn monetarily from the work, or if it is emotional, that your satisfaction comes emotionally because of what you do. For example, what I'm doing with reading tarot online, there is a sense of satisfaction for me. Whether I do it for money or not, that's irrelevant. It is the satisfaction that I actually project something. Not projecting, not doing it for the money is the choice that we make. But doing something, doing anything, and putting it where it is available for others, satisfaction is on all different levels when it comes to that. Because what I do in relation to the Eight of Pentacles is I provide information. I have become a source of inspiration, knowledge, emotional expression, where you get to listen to me and swear at me or not, or say good things back to me or not. Either way, I am putting that effort out there. And that's just for an example of how this could be a lesson. The fact is the work is there. There are many tarot readers out there. We're all different, though we are all categorized as tarot readers. we're all different. We all offer something different. Whether it is in a minuscule or a majestic way, we are all different. But we are doing. The fact is that we are doing. We are putting our effort into our readings, and we are projecting them online for the mass, or the masses, if you will. For anybody who is interested in a reading, we are available. We are exposed. We are performing. We are doing. That is what this card entails. It is a momentum. It is to get into a rhythm and to keep that rhythm. This is not why, but this is one of the reasons why this card is reflected as abundance, because it is continuous. And again, it's an 8. So 8 it's the infinity. It never ends. It's a loop. It just keeps going and starts up. And when you think it ends, it starts up again. And that is like tarot, because when you think you've come to the end, like even at the end of this deck, if I was to use every card, there would still be, I'm looking for more information because of how it ended. I want more. And that is where this symbolism comes in, sort of a reflection that it never ends. The work never ends. The flow never ends. And then because it is pentacles, it is considered as abundance because it never ends. Okay, it's the momentum. Once you get into it, it becomes rhythmic. Each detail, each coin is fashioned in the same way, but it is with a rhythm. It is with a rhythm. Okay? So how is this a lesson? Well, it is in getting up and going and doing. Not that you have a choice to stop. The free will is, if you get up and go to work, is because you choose to go to work. The reasons why you go to work is what puts the momentum. Now, if it is that you are artistic and you enjoy designing, for example, jewelry making, then you pop them out one after the other in a certain pace with a certain rhythm. But it is the joy that you put into your work that makes it beautiful. So it's not just working and doing and earning. It is the satisfaction that comes with the effort that you put in. That is the lesson here. Just going to have some of my tea. My throat needs it. Okay, now this is a good card to come to whenever it shows up. This is either you're getting work or you're working, or work is coming, money is coming, flow, there's rhythm, there's details, and then there is value behind it. Okay, now we have to remember that the value is sort of the end product, because you can make a lot of jewelry that is ugly and it won't sell, for example. And when I say ugly, I mean they all look the same, but there's something about it that it's flawed. And it's not because you did something wrong, and the perfection is there, it's perfectly done, but it is in a category where and that is a reflection off of what you put in. So for me to say ugly, it is as if I say that the person who did the work is ugly. They're not happy with what they're working on. But that is where the effort shows. So you would have to take a look at the way you work, where you work, what you do, and the ultimate question is the why. Why do you sit and make jewelry? What is the cause? What is that? What is it that put the spark into making jewelry? I'm using that as an example because the coins, you get it. We would question the job, the career, what it is that I want to do to make a living. I go to school and I study for so many years and I work hard and I put all of my passion into the effort to make this work, and then it doesn't come to fruition, for example. Like, I put all that effort and it didn't come to me. Well, that could only mean that you were supposed to go in a different direction altogether. Sorry about that. I had to pause just for a quick moment. But coming back to not coming into fruition, not coming out pretty, or not satisfied with the work is one thing. And then there's the effort that you enjoyed and you loved it. You did all the work for quite some time. It took years. For example, you followed your career and then all of a sudden you hit a plateau and you decide, well, you know what? I'm tired of doing this. I want to do something else. And you change the type of work that you do, or not so much the type of work, but you stem off into something different or closely related, or it could be completely different. That is where the effort comes in, because it brings us to evolution. Again, the rhythm. It's not like we're just going in a circle. No, it meanders and then it turns. And then you remember, I always say that the turning of a corner is a 7. It's hard. This card comes after the 7, but it goes back into the 7 every time we come around. And when we say what goes around comes around, we still have to take a corner. We still have to make a turn. We have to go back one in order to move forward. This could get complicated. I'm trying not to go too far in. But it is an 8. And in the 8s, there is expansion. There is looking for more. And where we go around, we come around again. So we revisit, and this is where the rhythm comes in. We pick up the rhythm, we drop the rhythm. We pick up the rhythm, we drop the rhythm. And that in itself is a rhythm, where you have ups and downs in the stock market, where you have your attitude, your working ethics. One minute you're working in a way where you're very productive, and then all of a sudden you're just taking a long lunch and you're not working anymore. Or you have contracted work, where you have a period of time where you put all your effort in and then you stop, and then you're just practically on vacation because you're living off of whatever you made. Abundance. It comes in many different forms. In the coins, it is reflected as value. That's why I always say where something has value. Like that last lesson I did, I think it was about valuable conversation was mentioned in there somewhere. But it was with an 8, the 8 of Pentacles. So we look at this as a positive because it is productive. And when Saturn comes around, it is payout or owing. Either you're owing and you have to give more, or you're receiving because you've done the work. Okay, and when we get this card, it usually means we're receiving, that abundance is coming, abundance is here. So we could take it in quite a few places there. So let's see what the tool is. We're going up a notch. We're going up to the 9. So in abundance, we have abundance here. We have value. Healing is the next card. It's 9 of Wands, because this we know is the wounded healer. We look at him in the traditional deck, and again, he's a soldier who's been in many fights and wars, and he's ready to jump into another war, even though he's all broken and beaten and tired, and knowing that he will die or possibly die, and in some cases hoping to die and put an end to this constant, because this is him. This is what he does. He is like going around and coming around again and fighting for a cause, and that's his rhythm, because he's done it 9 times already. He's lived through 9 wars, okay, and looking for a 10th one. And then the 10th one is where it all comes down, where it ends and it starts up again, a new cycle, a new beginning on a whole new level because of all these experiences. This is where we get to change our career, for example. And this could be, healing with value, healing the rhythm, healing the time, healing the effort. It could be anything we're healing here, but if we look at it on a monetary scale, where money comes in to I wouldn't be able to go too far because I would need a 3rd card, but it is about healing work, or healing where the job is concerned, healing that rhythm where you work. If you're not well, if you're working, work has you beaten, work has you tired, work has you feeling like you can't do more, because we could look at it as work. Naturally, it's the Pentacles. So work is burdening. The work is burdening. But then again, healing. It's a healing where you don't trust, because he doesn't trust something and someone. Maybe where you work, you don't have that faith in, or what you've been working on. It's burdening. It's weighty. It's very weighty. So you've been carrying more than you can. It's just too much. Again, the 9, too much of something. So the key now is to heal something from what is in the rhythm here, what is going around and coming around. And it could be the attitude, it could be the effort, in your own situation, if work is affecting your health, that is something that you need to really pay attention to. Or if it is that the way you are working is causing is becoming a burden, where you're not sleeping enough and you're going to work tired. That's one thing. It's as simple as that. You're going to work and you're tired. You're working even though you're exhausted. Something like that. A very mundane level, but then this is a mundane. These two are on our level here. So what is, if it is that healing is our tool, and that we are carrying that too much of work possibly, and we need to put it down, or we need to sit and relax for a little bit. What is Spirit giving us to help us maneuver through, the emotion? Remember how it started with the 10, that 10, healing, putting down the burden emotionally. Something like that is how I started. But she's here, our queen, our loving, emotional, healing emotionally, working on healing emotionally, abundance, coming in because of healing emotionally, making a career out of healing emotionally. For those of us who are looking for our future, because this is a future card. This is a forward card. This is looking into what's coming, and whatever is coming has value. So we're thinking here that emotionally, and these experiences, this 9 of Wands, and it's healing emotionally. It just flows. It's healing emotionally. Or the healing is emotional. The burden that's building up here is very emotional. But Spirit is giving us all this ability, this know-how, this depth, this elixir to heal. So we have a healing here and we have a healing here, because this is unconditional love before anything else. This is our ground zero of emotional love, ruled by Cancer. Okay, we came out of an eclipse that was in Libra. And it was in the 7th house. Libra was in the 7th house. So it is that logic, that sense of right and wrong, and knowing the difference, and really working through what you want in your relationship, because it's a lot, or not just so much what you want, but it is timed where certain relationships come to fruition in an ending, as in coming into marriage. You know, the fruition is there. What you've put into your relationship, the eclipse played out into showing what the just desserts were for that relationship. Again, it's a window, and these eclipses play on between a 6-month and an 18-month lifespan, if you will, of whatever they affect when they come into your life. I mean, it is marker points of a growth, expansion, and spiraling up, spiraling down. It depends. I mean, this is karmic, and this is all about, okay, you do to pay your bill. Well, this is how much you owe, because this is what you did. The effort that you put in to your emotional state of mind, or your emotional well-being, is being looked at, or needs to be looked at. This is very psychological when it comes to emotions and effort, guiding where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are emotionally. Are you on a level where you are fatigued emotionally, drained emotionally, because of where you work, or the work you do, for example? This is what Spirit is asking us to look into now. We have another eclipse coming in, eh? That's on the 29th, but that's emotional. It's going to be fun. It's going to be, when I say it's emotional, it is a lunar eclipse. So this will take place on a whole other level than where it was with the sun, that solar eclipse, because we're going from day into night. And most of us who don't pay attention to these phenomena won't even think about it at night, because you can't, I mean, not that you can't. If you're not paying attention, you won't even know. And again, it doesn't mean that change doesn't occur if you don't know that it's happening. It happens probably on a free-flowing, easier momentum when we don't even think about it, because we're not interfering with the process. And again, that is something else here that we can take from this emotional teaching. Because Spirit is giving us, again, and this is the emotional connectivity to what we do to get or gain. How emotionally connected are we to what we do for a living is another thing that we look into. So what is the gift if we are emotionally burdened by what we work on, or if we are contemplating emotionally changing where we work because we've done so much. What is the gift? The Prince of Pentacles. So more work. Sorry, couldn't help myself there. But let's have a sip. I'm trying to have it while it's hot. Okay, so here we have our Prince of Pentacles, who is dedicated. See, there's an emotional dedication. I love this. This is beautiful. This is the epitome of emotion, which is good. This is the good side of emotions, okay, where we feel that dedication to what we do, because this is all about doing, regardless of, oh, it's money coming in, you just won the lottery. No, we're not. That is the grain of salt that we need to take when we look at tarot. Okay, we cannot just see the Eight of Pentacles and say, oh, well, there's money coming. What did you do to get it? Absolutely nothing. I sat on my royal behind and I waited, and then what? The card said money was coming and I never got anything. That's because you need to get up and do. You want to have these beautiful designed or designer pieces. Well, you got to earn them. So you have to be dedicated to something. That is the trick. Spirit is giving us that dedication, giving us that openness to, oh my God, I am so dedicated to this. I have found what I've been looking for. Because it's an 8, huh? We're going around, we're trying to work it out. We're trying to come up with, if we do this on a personal level, we are working on ourselves for what we call value in our own lives, regardless if it is monetary. Because not everything that we do, and you have to look at it on a personal level, and not everything that we do we need to get paid out for in coin. In some cases, it is the dedication to a relationship, like we have our darling prince down on one knee, offering up all of his hard work to his queen, because Spirit has given us that ability to love. And that is a true gift. I always say, when I read the gift here, I always say that this is the true gift. Huh? Because of this gift, we see where we are able to have this if we are able to muster up the love. If we don't have love, and we use that word so loosely, you know, how many times you say I love you to someone and then you don't mean it after a few hundred times? Meaning is lost because you keep saying I love you, I love you, I love you. At some point you don't feel it. It just becomes the rhythm, the flow. You just, oh, I love you, and it's okay, I love you. You don't really feel it. But here we see the dedication. Here we see that if you take a look, the lines are actually darker in this one, deeper than these. This looks like a production line. This is like a handmade, you know, just to give the effect of the dedication involved here. Now, this is a slow process. Okay, the prince here, this 8, the pentacles, they reflect that. This is a deep, very deep, heavy, because water is pretty weighty. It could break rock. That's how strong and powerful the water is. Okay, and it goes into places that you cannot even see. That is how emotions work. Spreading, going through all of the experiences is there until it's an ocean. Again, we see her sitting on her throne on the water. That to be able to hold up solid on water, that float, that buoyancy, it takes that release. You have to not fight with it. You have to let the flow in the rhythm come. You have to let it flow through you, within, around, again, going around, coming around, going through, meandering. And water changes constantly. Right? It takes on its own path. It makes its own path. It will not be contained. And if it is contained, the force that it bursts through with at the end of the day is mighty. It's a very powerful. And that is how much dedication the Spirit is giving us. So what's at the bottom of the deck? Oh, that's a victory. Okay, so the love, because we have a lot of it here. We have dedication. We have, I would say it's in abundance. Love in abundance. Very dedicated. There is a victory. There is a victory here. Now, we see the 6, okay? 6s go back to where we were in the past. What we, sort of like again, it's coming around. Like what you've done in the past. See, we have the 6 here. Effort that was put in. It brings us to, oh, you did this? Okay, so you get that. That compensation. Well, your compensation in the 6 is having that reward where you are awarded, where you are recognized, because following the 6 is the 7, and that 7 is difficulty, where you have to, oh, I got what I'm worth. Now I have to balance and hold it up and push forward or maintain, depending on your circumstance. When you have the reward, the trophy, the position, the winning, you're the winner of the race, for example. You earned, you got what you wanted. Your dedication has proven to be victorious, where you're dedicated to your jewelry making. I keep using that because of the pentacles here. It's just you fit it to your own situation, okay? You've produced enough. You've done enough. So now you are awarded Jeweler of the Month, or Employee of the Month, or your queen or your king is recognizing you. Your payout is, my darling, let's go on a vacation, or I buy you a new car, or whatever, the reward. You have to either top it, match it, or keep it coming in as I have to stay number 1. Oh, I was labeled number 1, so I'm going to be number 1. To be able to do that, you have to do work. You have to work. You have to work. You have to do more work, is like I was saying here, where the dedication, and you're making plans and maintaining that rhythm, because it always comes back to this. You get the dedication. The abundance comes in to give you the dedication so that you can do more. And how you manage to do more, maybe you open up a factory with your jewelry. You just get on that volume production, okay? I'm really keeping it on a mundane level here and not going into too much depth, because again, this is free flowing, where abundance is individual. You have to see the value in what you do. You have to see your experiences bringing up or coming into what you consider valuable. If your experiences are valuable or valued to the point where emotionally you are dedicated, Now we could even go so far as to say dedicated to winning, making sure that the work that you are putting in will bring in the win, that you will win in the end. Now, this is where the table turns, dedicated to winning, that win. This is where I always talk about there's jealousy and envy and there's ego attached to this card. Because if you're dedicated to winning, what is it that you think you're going to win? The reward is already in the devotion. So what is it that you want to win? You want to top everyone? You want to be the best? I'm number one. That can only last for some time, not all the time. Because again, fluctuation, things go up, we go down, our drive, our momentum, our desire, our dedication, what it is that we love about what the work that we do. Is that where we get our satisfaction? In the winning, in standing up on the podium and being number one. And in some cases we could say, did I cheat to get there, or did I really do it out of devotion, dedication, and pain, the pain and suffering, the will to go, keep going, the dedication, the love. See, we can slice this in so many ways, and then we can flip it over in more ways, because now we're looking into the ego of, well, I really just want to win. It starts off pretty, oh yeah, I've gone through a lot and I've done so much, and all my love it's a burden now. I mean, we could always look for the negative. If we look for the negative, we will find it. But I have to bring it in. I always have to, because this card here does bring ego. If not for the victor, for the spectators, because shoot, should have been me. I wish it was me. I could have. But here we have the 6 again. Oh wow, there's a lot of cards. Oh boy, this reading is going to be long. Oh boy. Let's see how much of it I can actually show you. All right, we're not gonna go crazy on this, but it ends, we're gonna end it on the 6 of Cups there. Again with the ego, That's what makes this story. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring these up here at the end, okay? Let's take it one at a time. So this is the ego. The victory. And then there's the reciprocity that comes. Again, more abundance. This is all about work. Again, we have abundance. We have, when I say abundance, it's coin, okay? We have the coins. So this could go into working, where you work. Again, we started off with that, where you're burdened, and the love for what you do, the dedication. You're in competition. You're competing. You're trying to get more or be the winner. Again, bringing up, being the one to say at the end, I win all. I take it all. Because there's unfairness. Again, there's cheating. There was cheating going on here. There's cheating because this is reciprocity. So the victory goes to the one who was suffering more than, see right here, it goes to the one who's suffering more than the one who's actually cheating and trying to force things their way. You see? We have the 5 of Pentacles. Now we're going down a notch, because with the 5, it is I'm not worthy. Because that is where things were not in balance to begin with. There was a burden. There was a lot of pressure coming in for this abundance, for this value, for this work. This work was, somebody was pressured emotionally. And the dedication to winning is where the reciprocity will come, payout. If you are, and it is a manipulation game, and even though I don't see the manipulation card here, we see the imbalance. This imbalance is, it's too much on one side, not enough on the other side. That is where the reciprocity comes in. I'm going to leave this one here because we're working through them. Okay, so moving along, we have the Five of Pentacles where we're like, okay, I don't feel like this is, I'm not worthy. All of a sudden, that effort, that emotion, it drops. Again, we were talking about rhythm going up and down and meandering and energy and effort. Losing, feeling like you're losing, because this payout here means that somebody is losing something. As somebody gains, somebody else loses. And that is the natural law. It's just the way it is. Some go up, some go down. This is like stock market, okay? And we worry. It's not so much a worry, but we trap ourselves into a certain mindset that I'm dedicated and I gave all my love. And why am I the one doing all the work? Why am I being pushed? Why am I being weighted? Why am I being burdened? And then it's not fair. I want to get what I want. I want to have the victory. Because somebody feels like they're being slighted and they're not accepting the reasoning why. There is a reason that you're being slighted. And if you don't accept that, well, you're going to look for revenge. I keep looking for the Five of Swords. But in the Eight, this is a mental battle. This is where you start, I did all the work, but I'm good enough, and I'm being made to feel like I'm not. Stalemate. Spirit steps in and says, whoa, you gotta take a time out here. You gotta make new plans. You gotta see things in a different way because you're stuck. You're stuck in your own mindset. You need to come out of that. You need to shift. And this is where the balance, again, balance comes in here. This is the card up here. I'm just going to bring them down so that you can see them. Because I'm out of table here. Wasn't expecting that to happen. But the balance comes in with the moon. See? The moon here, again, on the 29th, we have an eclipse of the moon. So the balance will be restored because there's a timeout. Balance will be restored by the moon. And again, this mental, working out details and thinking up ways to get back what was taken, what was lost, because this is in value. Okay, we're looking at value here. Look at it as work, because where you work, things are going up and down, and you're thinking you may lose your job, and then you may lose your job, or you may decide you need to quit. But Spirit is going to make you stop and say, no, you're dedicated. You hold on to your dedication. That love inside of you is worth everything here. Remember, we're coming back to the abundance. The lesson is in getting that abundance. Being able to give up and give in and say, okay, you know what? I humble myself, because that's the lesson this brings, is to humble the self. Not look for that, I gotta win and get it all. That is the mindset that needs to take place for the abundance to come back to you. If you've had it where you were in abundance, and then all of a sudden you realize it's gone because for some reason you're burdened, okay? You've lost that flow, that momentum. You're finding that you need to think about it. And Spirit is making sure that you think about it, because this is your destiny, yeah? or our destiny, that Spirit comes in and says, when you need to take a time out, you have no choice, you have to. It's again relating to Saturn, the work. Maybe where you work, there's a shutdown, and you're forced to sit and wait, and you're still on payroll, but you're not able to work. It could be for others. I mean, it flows. But the moon, the next moon, and especially that eclipse, it is going to bring things back into balance. It's going to shift. And the 7, the 7 keeps coming up. The 7 is going to make us come back. Remember I told you have to go back a notch, back a step, and then find the rhythm again. And that's where the balance will come in. You see? It ends with working on things that were in the past. Your mindset changes, first of all, but because of what you've done in the past. And then the King of Swords, which is usually high authority, judges, lawyers, doctors. If it is in your health, again, this is all about what is valuable to you. This is where the good news comes. Back to what you love. Brings you back to what you love. So you may go back to what you do, or you may change what you do, but the point is it brings you back to your dedication so that you can be abundant again. Wow, this is truly a figure 8. We'll take an oracle card for this and end, simply because this was a lot. That's abundance. It is a lot. Look out for that moon on the 29th, eh? Or go through the phases of the moon. Go through the phases of the moon and see where you are, what's been going on. Go back a bit. Go back to before the eclipse and see where you were and where you are now. And then have that sit down and do think about what it is you're dedicated to. Because it is your abundance. If it is your work, your job, your emotional life, your studies, what what you're passionate about, because that's what this is. This victory here could go where your ego is taken over and you have to pay out, or you are in a victory where you do get paid out because you gave up, or you were made to feel that you were not enough. And now Spirit is saying, well, things are slowing down because you need to grow, you need to change, you need to come back into balance, come back to what you're dedicated to, put that effort in emotionally, because this is a tight spot, especially if you are given too much to where you work. You're burdened by where you work, or you're burdened by an emotional connection. Someone in your circle is creating that burden for you. But there is going to be I say a judgment because it just feels official. It feels official. But there is truth. Whether it is a romantic, because again, the 6 of Cups brings back that unconditional love. So it could be in a romantic place or a state of mind where your truth is spoken, or someone's truth is spoken to you because of your connections in the past, of what you have been working on. Again, it feels like there is law, courts, judges, lawyers, even doctors, especially where it comes to your health, emotionally, your health, okay? It is relating to the past. So wherever you were in the past emotionally, it is coming around again. It's coming around and it's coming back into balance by the moon. Let me just bring this down here, and I'm going to take an oracle message because I keep going back into it. So sorry about that. I feel like I have to because it's 3 lines. It's been a while. We didn't have the whole shebang going on here. What is the oracle message for this lesson? Thank you, Spirit. the cow. Now that in itself is like what we would call not so much abundance. Well, it is abundance, but it's having everything you need. That's what this is. Because the cow provides, like we know the buffalo for the natives was their general store. Back in the day, you know, when you think about living off the land kind of thing, they would follow the buffalo. They would follow. And that was their food, their shelter, their everything. They used everything about that buffalo to survive. So Spirit is telling us that abundance is coming in. Whatever way you view abundance in, it is coming to you. It is here. It is now. And it is something that you have a momentum in. May the embrace of all that is nurturing you awaken in all that you are becoming. Again, nurturing. That self-love, that opening up and receiving your value, okay, and then opening up and receiving because of what you value is where you have everything that you need, because that's what this represents, and it is what you turn into because of your experiences, because of where you've been. Your mind, okay, is going round and round. Again, it's another 8, going round and round and round, because Spirit is asking that we shift with that eclipse that we just been through. We need to go with the flow, and we need to reconcile within ourselves before we can reconcile with another and speak our truth, if it is a relationship. Okay, now again, same thing with work. It is how you maneuver through your communication, your relationships, that you feel that sense of belonging, that sense of I have everything I need, because we do. We just have to believe that we do. We just want to feel it with the coin. So now Spirit is saying we need to surrender, and this is where this card comes in. To surrender. It's another 5 with the 4 plus the 1. There's nothing more blissful than the act of letting go, of setting yourself free of all that doesn't serve you. This is why we're going round and round and round in the head, because we're holding on to things that we don't need. The burden, whatever the burden is, because of what you hold as value. Spirit is asking us to let it go. And that is what the eclipse is supposed to do for us. It's supposed to shake us out of that lethargy, or shake us out of that stuckness of that I want to get everything. I want to win. Because at the end of the day, winning or losing is irrelevant. It is how you go through. It is how you feel. It is what you are devoted to. It is what you love. It is how you view love that means everything. And the balance, the imbalance comes when we want more than we deserve, or we think we should have more than another, or we should have what that other one has. And why do they have it, and how come I don't have? That imbalance comes back into balance. And Spirit is going to make sure that we take a time out. Again, Neptune. If it is that it's in relationships where we're bucking for, I want to take this relationship and destroy it because that's what I get as my joy. Spirit is going to come and put a stop to that. You're going to pay for that. And I say you. I don't mean to point fingers, but the person or persons, people, individuals who think that they can cheat the system, they get away with it for a while, and then they end up getting caught. And question is not if, but when. I leave it on knowing that, the oracle and creation. Primal. Okay. I leave it with the oracle, where spirits of other worlds tell me tales of the unknown, tell me tales of the forbidden. Spirit is making sure that we are protected and that we have what we need. The truth comes to us in very strange and interesting ways. And when you get enough information and you've gone through your mind and you've sat and you've thought, we come back to the dedication. Spirit is going to bring us back there because Spirit knows where we are supposed to go, and if we are paying attention, we find our truth and then we live in it because we surrender to the fact that we have everything that we need. On that note, I thank you for showing up, for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares. And if this lesson didn't come to you as a lesson today, don't worry, it'll come around again. Love and light.